All right. The Vow is directed by a newcomer director named Michael Sucsy or Sushi. I'm not exactly.
Sussy?
Sussy. I don't know. S-U-C-S-Y. You tell me how that's pronounced. And this stars Rachel McAdams and Channing Tatum, who have both previously starred in Nicholas Sparks adaptations, of course, The Notebook and Dear John. And I think that this movie sort of aims to be sort of a Nicholas Sparks-esque love story, although this actually, believe it or not, is not based on one of his books. But basically what this is about is Rachel McAdams and Channing Tatum are a newlywed couple who are, perfectly happy. They're kind of the cool, hip, bohemian couple. They're happy, they're cool, they have cool jobs. Channing Tatum is a sound engineer, and Rachel McAdams is an artist who's working on commission for Chicago. And right in the middle, while everything's perfectly happy, they get in a terrible accident. And Rachel McAdams goes flying through the window, sent in a hospital where she is put into a coma for a few days to recover. When she's taken out of the coma, she does not remember the last 5 years of her life. So she doesn't remember anything with Channing Tatum in there as her husband. So he has to convince her that he is the love of her life and that they have a history together and help her try and remember this. While in the meantime, she makes a reconnection with her family who she had previously cut off. But now that she doesn't remember that whole incident or incidences, she decides she's going to reconnect with them because it's the only thing in her life she really remembers, much to Channing Tatum's chagrin. So I went into this movie pretty much expecting the worst. I mean, I've never been a Channing Tatum supporter. And this type of sort of Hallmark / Lifetime movie type stuff is not my bread and butter at all. But I actually came out of the movie pretty well satisfied by it. I think it's cheesy and sappy in all the ways you know it's going to be, but it actually owns it. It knows what it is. It knows that it's that type of a movie, and it goes for it. And it actually, as far as being one of those kind of movies, it's probably one of the better examples of one of those kind of movies. Probably much better than most of those Nicholas Sparks adaptations.
Yeah, I think The Notebook's the only thing better.
I mean, it's pretty high concept. Even though it says it's based on a true story, I wonder how true. It's pretty high concept, and it's pretty predictable, and it's fairly emotionally manipulative. But it kind of does everything pretty well. It's well paced. The acting, surprisingly, is pretty good all the way through. I still feel as though Channing Tatum is just not really, charismatic enough to be the type of actor to carry a movie. And I would have maybe liked to see someone who could pull it off a little bit better than him, but he does about as well as he probably can. And it's shot pretty well. It's pretty well directed. And it has a pretty nice soundtrack, too. So to all of those people who think that I just want to hate every movie and that I don't have an open mind, I give The Vow a surprising C+.
Surprise, that's still pretty bad for us. If it goes below a B, we didn't like it very much.
It's on the positive end of C+.
I'm also a slight supporter of this one. I gave it a B-. I thought Channing Tatum did quite well for himself, but I think that he nailed it. I don't think he has charisma. He's very stoned, or not stoned, stone-ish. I don't know. Yeah. He's definitely got no charisma. This movie made me want to buy a sweater. Channing Tatum wears some pretty terrible sweaters, and I was like, I kind of like a couple of those. Yeah. I went out and bought myself this really I was going to probably wear it, but I was like, that's too warm. I bought myself a sweater because of this movie. I do think a lot of it was kind of forcing. I felt this had that 500 Days of Summer problem where it was trying way too hard to reach a demographic of hipsters who would never go to this movie. This movie's about people who would never go to this movie. So why would we make this movie? I mean, let's make these indie guys. They have this whole friend group, and they're all just totally.
The type of kids who just like hang out at the coffee shop all day.
They only go to art house and stuff like that. Yeah, this movie was just reaching for some bizarre, like, I was just like, what? So they just had to make Channing Tatum like a soldier or something. That would have probably made it. Oh, you're an ex-soldier? Okay, no, you're a recording studio guy on the indie labels. nap. There was a couple scenes in there that I was like, really? We're going to put this in here? Okay. Hated. Like, they're like, we have to have a bad guy, so let's put this ex-boyfriend in there. I don't remember who was played by.
Scott Speedman.
Yeah. That guy did not care about this movie at all. He was just like, I'm the bad guy, but
it's sort of a thankless role.
Yeah.
I think I didn't have a problem with him per se.
Yeah.
It felt like it was a bit more conflict than the movie really needed.
Yeah.
But you know, I think he did as well as he really could do with that role.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone else in there could have done better.
I don't know, because there's this part where they make him the bad guy in this wedding scene, and they get this kind of argument, and I was just like, this is the worst scene in the entire movie.
Yeah.
I think there should have. I liked how Sam Neill was kind of this. He's the father figure who is manipulating his daughter, Rachel McAdams, back into the family life.
Yeah.
I think he does
waving his money around.
Yeah, does a nice little kind of evil dad role. Kind of enjoyed him, but yeah, pretty much not much going on for this. What do I got? Yeah, it's sweet, but nothing unique or interesting about it. Just
it doesn't. It sits comfortably within its box.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's pretty competent, and it knows what it wants to be, and it goes for it. So I think for this type of movie, you could do a lot worse.
Yeah.